Hi everyone, I'm back for another episode of Let's Talk About It with my freshmen. I'm with Ava Bogan and Madison Wood, and we're going to talk a little bit about the freshman year experience. I remember just going through the adjustment period of high school to college volleyball. How was that for you guys?
I think for me it definitely was an adjustment, just getting back to a super fast-paced game, because that's I think the biggest difference is in high school there is a lot of skill, but the pace of the game is significantly slower than when you're playing at such a high level as you are as D1 in college. So I think that for me was definitely the biggest adjustment, just because you know what to do. It's just will you react fast enough to actually do it? And so that's definitely been the biggest thing for me.
I also wasn't aware of how your teammates hold you accountable. I've just never experienced that before in high school or in club, and so that was the first interesting thing to me, is realizing that your coaches aren't really gonna get on you. It's more so your teammates.
That's very real.
You guys talk so much about how hard it was to make friends freshman year, in the beginning and all.
No.
Yeah,
and now you guys are thriving. Every time I see you guys are oh, we're getting dinner with this people, we're going that.
Everyone would always say oh, you're gonna make new friends in spring, and I was
You guys
okay,
did not believe
sure,
us.
Okay. But then we really got to it, and it's very, very true. We didn't know anyone, and then as soon as we got to spring, it was we have so many new friends.
No, you guys know everyone. I feel like you guys are introducing me to people sometimes. I'm what the heck is this?
I don't even know really what it was, because that's what I thought in spring, there would be this giant get together that everyone would just meet, but there wasn't that. It's just you just kind of meet people along the way.
Do you guys have any advice, one or two tips for someone, an athlete who's trying to make friends right now with other people?
I think the reason that we got so many more friends in spring is I think we just kept seeing people. I think it's literally just the time aspect of it, because coming in, you're not going to be best friends or not even friendly with a lot of people right away. It happens when you keep seeing them in these shared spaces that we have, Bartels or whatever, and then you get more and more familiar, and then you see them out at whatever, and you just become friends.
Yeah, I agree. And just I think what changed is also spring semester I got more confident to just walk up to people and be hey, you're on soccer, right? Or oh, whatever, you're on this team. So then it's just or oh, you're in my math class.
Right.
You just kind of have to walk up to people because you have a common interest, whatever it is, and it doesn't sound weird to you just acknowledge it. Hey, we both know we're on a sports team, or we both know we're in the same class. Just walk up to them and ask them something random.
Yeah.
I feel that's how we made a lot of random friends.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's important to prepare people coming in freshman year that everything's not always going to be great, although we talked about great things. So what are some areas where your expectations changed, and how have you guys dealt with that?
When you're in a D1 program, you were probably one of the best players at your club, and now you're on a team with people who were all the best players at their club.
Yeah.
Also focusing on just being getting better is a big part. It's not always about who's playing the most or who's the star of the team, whatever. It's also just kind of about the grind itself, because that's kind of a big part of that people don't think about as much, I feel like.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference from being in high school or club and always thinking about you specifically getting to college, and then you get to college and you're oh, what now?
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to play pro, the focus is now the team, and which is a huge change. So you guys are finishing your freshman year, you're about to be sophomores. What lessons from this year are you going to take with you next year? Let's talk about it.
Good
Question. What did I learn?
Literally, once I got surgery, I said it was a kumbaya moment for me when I realized that you need other things in life. You need to do school and volleyball, yes, but you also need social life, and you need to be with your family and FaceTime them whenever you can, and do whatever, and experience the nature, especially because it's so beautiful here. So I think just having that balance, and I don't know it at all, but I think just making it more of a priority in my life.
Just being more in tune with who I am, and then just building upon that next year, and just going through life in the year at college, because I had a really good year. So it's I feel while the lesson and message isn't entirely clear, I think that I'm still learning, and I'm just excited to keep moving forward next year.
I love that. Thank you guys for coming. The next time I play with them, I'll be playing against them.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
So crazy.
That is insane.
All right. thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you,
Of
Sid.
course, thank you.
Hey guys, it's Sydney. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Talk About It. If you did, make sure to leave a review and send it to a friend. Let's keep this conversation going. I'll see you guys next week.